friends. How are you guys doing today? Welcome back and thanks for stopping in. I hope wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you're having a fantastic day. You're striving, you're thriving, you're loving yourself and the people that you're with. I am so glad that you're here, guys. Today we're talking about the last broadcast from 1998, directed by Stefan, Avalos, and Lance Weiler. Guys, this predates the Blair Witch Project, and this is a found footage film. So before we dig into these VHS tapes, hit that like and subscribe button for me. This, guys, was there was promise. Put it that way. We'll be generous and say that there was promise here. Basically, this film crew, these two guys, they're the hosts of this like public access paranormal investigation show, and they do their first like live broadcast / internet broadcast, whatever. You know, this is like, I mean, they have laptops that are like a brick. You know what I mean? So this is super early. How they had internet in the woods, I'll never know. But we dive into this, and it's, you know, found footage, documentary style filmmaking where there's interviews and there's people talking about the different people in the found footage film. About there's, you know, they talk about the host of the paranormal show, the guest that went crazy, the just, you know, all these different things about this murder mystery that happened while these people were looking for the Jersey Devil out in the middle of BFE somewhere, right? So it's like, it has promise. Like, there is a grain of something that I could see if they just had a bigger budget and not 1990s handy cams. Because the film quality on this looks terrible. The production aspects of it are terrible. But they tried. God bless their hearts. They tried so hard to make something special. And you know, the thing is, I think that the people from the Blair Witch Project, they probably saw this film, or they may have been friends with the filmmakers, and they took kind of the premise of this, tweaked it a touch, and then made, you know, millions of dollars off a $30,000 budget. Like, Blair Witch Project does this better, but this is like a pseudo prototype of Blair Witch, and it's just not very well made. And I've seen a lot, I've read some reviews on it, and people were like praising it for its independent nature and things like that. And hey, like I said, there is a grain of some greatness there. If they would have had a budget, if they would have had better filmmakers, if they would have had better actors, you know, in their found footage film, if they would, like, because there's a lady that's a newscaster, and you can tell this girl ain't never been on screen in her life, and if she did, it was for a church play somewhere, and her daddy was filming it, because she has the acting chops of just, well, none. She has no acting chops, okay? There's just none. And so you should need a little better actors if you want us to believe that this is a genuine documentary type of thing, you know, because that's where other found footage films excel, is making you believe that it's really a documentary. For instance, Horror in the High Desert. I knew nothing about that going in. I didn't even know that it was a documentary type found footage film. But as I'm watching it, it felt real. Like, the people were good actors, the scenery and the cinematography and stuff, like everything felt like it was a real documentary investigating this guy's life. This felt like a joke. The last broadcast felt like it was a joke of people, or just an attempt by non-talented people. I mean, it's like if somebody's like, man, I want to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. But you know, they really don't need to, you know, because you've heard them sing before, and you've heard them, and you're like, no, you know, that's a great dream, but you don't need that to happen. Well, it's kind of like what this was. The guy was like, I want to make this really cool, this premise for this movie, and I want to do this, and it's a dream of mine to make this film, and no one told him, no, you shouldn't do that. Or you should get someone who actually has talent to make this for you, because you ain't it, my friend, and this ain't it. This just was not it for me. I thought that, it wasn't a good film. It wasn't made well, but I could see it inspiring others to make similar things that were better. That's all I'm saying. Would I recommend this to anybody? No. But if you want to be like, oh, well, I want to see a little found footage history, and since this predates the major success of the Blair Witch Project, let me check this out. You can find it streaming on Prime. You can find it streaming on Tubi. But do I recommend it? No. I think the benchmark right there is the Blair Witch Project. Anything past that, before that, I should say, it's probably not worth your time. Right? I mean, I watched it and it put me to sleep just because of how poorly made it was. So I don't recommend it, guys, but it's there if you want to see it. That's it for the last broadcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for just a little while, guys, and talking about this movie. Before you get out of here, hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, my friends, I am going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you, and I will see you next time.